Welcome to the world of 4D Madness, a series of fourth dimensional movie reviews. I am Dr. Schwarzenberg, and our job is to review every 4D film that has become part of our history. And 4D is just a fourth dimensional type that people would experience, whether it's a movie or a ride. And now that 4D is becoming a thing of the past, we think it's the best time to go ahead and review every one of them that has been put down in history. And now, I'm gonna let Triple B review one of those 4D films that we all know.
What is going on, guys? This is your boy Byron once again, and welcome to the first episode of my own mini movie review series that I had just created recently. It's called 4D Madness. The series of mine, 4D Madness, is the series that I decided to make where I review certain, not the 4D rides or the 4D shows I don't care for. I'm talking about the actual 4D movies that are actually made for 4D in general, and that most of them have become part of our history. From the 3D graphics to the special effects, I give it a review to see if each of them is good or bad. In this episode, we're going to be starting with one that I really know the most. It is actually the first 4D film that I had ever seen in person. And it's something that I really want to give away to everyone. Plus, I actually saw it twice. It was also where I first discovered it. It was also where I first discovered 4D, but it was at my local zoo of mine. And that is, drumroll please, SpongeBob SquarePants The Ride. Or SpongeBob SquarePants The 4D Ride. Or 4D. Or 3D. Or the 3D ride, whatever you want to call it. So this short 4D ride is basically where you have Penny the Pirate forcibly taking you down to Bikini Bottom, and you ride all the way down to the Krusty Krab, despite the crashes that you go through, because it's just a simulator ride. And once you hit the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob shows the recipes of what goes into the Krabby Patty, and the only thing that isn't complete on a Krabby Patty is a pickle that goes onto the Krabby Patty. And as he tries to get the last pickle from the pickle jar, it just suddenly flies off, and then SpongeBob tries to catch it. But, there are 3D effects in the, there were actually, but there are some, 3D effects in this short. And I think it's really fun, when you wear glasses and try to catch it. It's insane. But this pickle starts to, run away. And it actually leads to Patrick, who's on the pogo stick, and he takes off with the pickle. So SpongeBob decides to take himself and the audience to follow Patrick to get the pickle back for the customer. I'm pretty sure you guys have probably seen or experienced the ride itself. You guys are not really going to be spoiled when I talk about this, but if you have not seen it or experienced it, I'm really sorry if I am, but I'm going to give it away anyway. So SpongeBob creates a bubble bike. He and his audience get on, and they ride all the way through Bikini Bottom despite the crashes that happen here and there. And as it gets to Jellyfish Fields, he actually gets stunned, like usual, in his own show. Plus, there are some effects in it too if you experienced it in 4D. And as SpongeBob tries to get Patrick with the pickle that he's trying to get, he suddenly goes down to rock bottom. Which, I'm not gonna lie, but it's actually a really nice touch that the crew did by having a cameo appearance of the rock bottom. That's why I call it a gem. And when one of the creatures bites SpongeBob's own bubble bike, it leads him and the audience up in the air, and they go all the way down the chum bucket. And as Patrick, with the runaway pickle, going in there, and Plankton suddenly shows up with a robotic clone of Patrick, and that he's the reason he got the runaway pickle. He then shows the audience 3 different types of weapons that his robotic clone of Patrick uses, including a claw, a ripsaw, and a paddle ball. And in Softo Chase with this robotic clone of Patrick, or should I call it Patbot, that Plankton uses to have SpongeBob given the Krabby Patty with all those torturous weapons and all that. And let me tell you, that chase scene in it is just insane. Right when Plankton is about to kill SpongeBob, what suddenly happened is that Patrick unplugs the robot, and he gives this little funny moment by saying, "Oh, sorry, can I use this outlet?" And as Plankton gets hilariously defeated, SpongeBob finally got the pickle in the Krabby Patty that he was going to give to the customer. And when he gave it to the customer, who turns out to be Sandals, and his appearance probably kind of wrong with his color and all that, it's probably wrong comparing to the show. Sandals had to let SpongeBob know from what he's unaware is that he is actually allergic to pickles. And when he tries to explain that, he suddenly blows up and had to confirm that to SpongeBob. And then it ends with SpongeBob giving away this decent joke saying, "Well, that was pickle killer." Get it? So yeah, that's basically the plot of SpongeBob 4D. Okay, I'll have to admit, I actually enjoyed the attraction itself. I enjoyed experiencing it in person, and even when I watched it all the time online, even though it's not the same to do so. And I got to admit, the plot itself It's just actually kind of crazy because it's kind of dumb at first with the pickle running away, but it turns out to be fun as a ride itself, which I actually think that the crew did a wonderful job putting it together like this. I also have to admit that I was actually one of those kids that actually got to experience SpongeBob 4D, but I actually experienced it at my local zoo when I was like probably around like almost 8 years old. I actually experienced it twice. Once during the summer and again during Halloween or something. And I also remember the second and final time that I saw it in person, I was in my SpongeBob costume. I mean, not the mascot, but like I was in my Halloween costume as SpongeBob. And what it is that I remember very well that I went ahead and made my own costume wearing glasses, but my name was saying, hey, put your glasses on, please. Even when the show wasn't even starting yet. Like, what in the world? I mean, I knew it's 4D, but damn. And I also remember the pre-show very well with SpongeBob waiting in line, and they show clips of SpongeBob episodes just for the people that live under a rock and that have never seen SpongeBob their whole lives. You know, what was also special about it is that the attraction itself was in 3 different dimensions. It was in 2D, but as the ride, it was also in 3D, just both the 3D movie and the 3D ride, and also 4D. Just both 4D ride and just 4D. Not only that it was a hit that came out in 2003, but it was also shown at multiple locations. They operated the ride at theme parks, zoos, aquariums, even the Nickelodeon Hotel, etc., etc. It was literally everywhere, especially back in my day. In fact, there were actually 2 versions of SpongeBob the Ride. At the Cincinnati Zoo, they had it as SpongeBob 4D, you know, since it was in the 4D theater. And at all Cedar Fair parks, including Kings Island, they had it as a 3D ride, just the motion seats and the 3D projection. That was literally it. I was actually aware of the ride being at Kings Island, but unfortunately, I never got to experience it, not even when I first found out about it. I'll be really honest, I totally regret not experiencing it. Well, like I said, I did at the zoo, but not at my local theme park or anywhere else. Overall, the attraction had its moments. It had a lot of great 3D graphics, even though it kind of looks outdated nowadays. And it meant to a lot of people, to be honest. Even the special effects that they had for the 4D version, like wind, bubbles, water spray, leg ticklers, lighting. Speaking of leg ticklers, you want to know the only thing that they actually did, which was actually stupid? Like, I don't know if you guys were aware of this, if you had seen it in person, but if you had seen the 4D version in person, there was one scene where Patbot has this ripsaw coming right at you, even though it's just not coming towards your legs. And when it comes towards your face, the leg ticklers go off. It's like, okay, first of all, I think that was just, like, that's the only thing that was just so dumb of Simic Cyrus to go ahead and point in the leg ticklers when the ripsaw was not even coming to their legs. Like, dude, what in the world? It's like, okay. Yeah, as I look back at it, especially myself, I mean, that's just so dumb, you know? Especially when it was going through SpongeBob's, like, I mean, not everyone else's, like... It is, I don't know, it was so weird. And get this, because what's even weirder is that in the 4D version, they have this weird Cimex iWorks intro playing with a bunch of clips going on. And in that intro, with the logo coming out in the end, and throughout those clips, they have the special effects involved, including the leg ticklers, especially with one of them when they were not coming right at anyone or through anyone's leg, except for the, you know, the mice, but like with the snake thing, like it didn't go through anyone's legs. It was just staying there doing nothing. Like, that's just so dumb. At the end of the day, despite the mishaps and the in-theater effects being used inappropriately, I give SpongeBob 4D a 4 out of 5. Unfortunately, it is no longer at any theme park, zoo, or aquarium, but you can actually watch it online, but like mainly through YouTube and such. Like, you can watch it there. But I must say, you're just watching 2D. It's just not the same because you don't feel the same way with feeling the effects. And most of those are not in 3D. You can like most of those actual films that are like on YouTube, those are not in 3D. But if you want to like watch the POVs of it, I mean, you can, but like they're mostly not the same. But yeah. And I forgot to mention that there's another SpongeBob 4D film that's currently out, but only at some aquariums and zoos. It's called SpongeBob 4D: The Gradually Rescue. Although I have not seen it in person, but the thing is, I actually watched the POV of it a couple times, and let me tell you, it's kind of cool. But like, it's just, I don't know what to tell you, but I think it's a better version of Dora and Diego. But you know, it's just a 3D animated one. You know, it's just, you know, a regular Cimex iWorks film. All right, well, that concludes this first episode of 4D Madness. Thank you guys so much for watching this little movie review. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Stay tuned for more 4D Madness movie reviews that I have coming up. And until then, this is me, Byron, signing off. Peace out, everyone.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Sincerely, Dr. Schwarzenberg.